Hello, my C++ Cos1511 students. Welcome to our Zoom session, our weekly Saturday Zoom session. I'm so glad that you could join us. I believe there's Marianne in the house. Marianne?
Yep, I'm still here.
Oh, great, great, great. One of my faithful, dedicated students who comes every Saturdays. I'm so happy that you are here, Marianne. So when was the last time you worked on your C++, Marianne?
Last week, the quiz about the starfish and the bear.
Oh my word, Marianne.
I need to ask you about that.
Okay, Marianne, you got to do programming as often as possible, right? Okay, don't forget about
that thing about.
Sorry, go ahead, Marianne.
Yes, okay. What was I thinking of? Oh, yes. So that was what I wanted to ask you about, because I noticed that when it asks you to enter your name, unless you, I think it was caps lock, unless you do it all in caps lock, then it doesn't accept it. And I think that might have created a bit of confusion with some of the other students, because I know we went through it like 5 or 6 times, and then it's like, please enter your name, please enter your name. It's funny, I said to Mark, you know, let's, okay, caps lock. Let's put in caps lock. And it's like,
okay,
here we go.
Okay,
Great.
Great. So you sorted that out. Thank you, Marianne, for that. All right, so let's get into it, Marianne. So yesterday was a public holiday, and guess what I did, Marianne?
C++.
Of course, C++, right? So I learned a new program called Codegrade, right? Now, Marianne, I know you are in our group 1E course, and you asked me the other day, what was this code break? I had lesson exercise 1.2. I should have hidden that from our students, right? And from you as well. But thank you for checking up on me. So, Marianne, if you go to our group 1E, there's something called Print Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. So yesterday I spent about an hour and a half, and I hopefully got it right. So if you click on Print Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, it's going to ask you, oh, wow, check this out. My student submitted. Oh, my word. Marianne, you also have to submit, Marianne. Marianne. You've also got to submit, Marianne. Right? This is cool, Marianne. Oh, look at that. I just sent my students a message and they did it. So Codegrade allows you to submit your assignment and it will mark it for you. All right. So I'm going to check. Jamie Lee Brown was my student that did the work. Yay. Check it out. I'm going to check this out. This is cool. So I can give feedback to Jamie Lee Brown and I can do that. I didn't expect this from them. So Marianne, when are you going to submit it, Marianne?
Okay, but what are we submitting? Is it assignment 2?
No. This is just to test whether you can use Codegrade or not, right? Okay, this is the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, the one from exercise 1.2 in your lesson 1.
Okay.
Okay.
So we just, oh yes, but it wasn't Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, was it? It was that thing from Alice in Wonderland.
Twinkle Twinkle Little Bat, yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
How about Wonder Where You're At?
Okay, great. So this software will allow me and the lecturer to mark your work. Well, you know, they call it grading, and it will do it instantaneously. So that will help you to prepare for the exam as well, right, Marianne? So I'd like you, if you could try that out, right? It's under group 1E. It's in, it's the folder. There's out here, Print Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. And Marianne, did you see my Youth Day quiz as well, Marianne?
No, I don't think I actually did see that.
Marianne, you got to do that, right? I'll help you with the Youth Day quiz, right? So let's just have a look at this. There were 52 attempts. It says, what is the output?
52 attempts.
Yeah, right. What is the output of the following code? Any idea what the 3 numbers could mean? So Marianne, this is going to be a typical exam question or the next assignment. Ma'am says that she's going to use a quiz and she's going to ask you to basically do it in Moodle, and I'm already preparing you for that. All right. So if you look at the question, Marianne, I have, what is this SQRT and POW, Marianne? Do you know what that is? Marianne? Miriam.
So square would be to square root, yes. And then
Okay, square
power,
root.
so it's b squared, and then the square root of that. So a is going to equal b plus the power of c squared. What was c squared? C squared was 12. So it's going to be 5 plus 12 squared. 12 plus 144 is 169.
Uh-huh.
See out. What? Surf IOS fixed. Okay. Yes. Means something to us there. All right. See out A. And L return 0. Okay, so the program is going to see output A, which is going to be 169. I see at the end of A equals, there is an iOS fixed statement. But there isn't a, oh, hang on, there's the rest of it. Our precision is 2. So what it's going to give you is 169.00.
Okay, great. So that's what it worked out there. But it's all, you also have this SQRT. What is SQRT of 169?
Well, it's 13, sir, but the way I'm reading this. Hang on. I found the other bracket there. I see there's a bracket there before B. I was about to say now, but it seems to me the square root and the B squared cancel each other out and you end up with B. Okay, fine, fair enough. But then, because B squared is then 25, because 25 plus. Okay, it was 169. I got that then. Okay. Yes. All right. I see. So what it's actually going to give you is 13.00. All right.
Okay. Well, I don't know, Marianne. You'll have to do this. You'll have to go to Group 1E and do it, right? And check out the answer. Okay, Marianne? Will you do that for me, please?
Yeah, I can do that.
Question. It's only one question. It'll take you a few. Now that you worked it out, I think you have an idea of what it is, right? Okay, Marianne?
Yeah, I'm actually quite happy here. It was just the brackets that now messed me over because I was like looking at the thing and I actually missed the bracket between power and B. And it's like, okay, why is this like so? So yeah, okay.
Okay. Now that'll happen in the exam as well. Yeah, and you're going to be under stress as well, right? So those brackets play an important role. And I'm so happy, Marianne, that you were able to look at POW and SQRT as library functions, all right? And if you notice, Marianne, in line number 2, I had include CMath. Now, if I did not have include CMath, Marianne, I would not have been able to use POW and SQRT, all right? And I know I've been a little naughty and I put all in one line, but I was trying to squeeze and save some lines so that I make it look nice, right? And I put it out there. So the important point is that I, as a lecturer, as a tutor, I'm testing you on your ability to note what is SQRT, what is POW, and what is, well, you figured out the C out in the precision 2 as well, all right? Okay, now, I'd like you to do that as well, Marianne. This will keep you, it'll keep your mind occupied and it'll keep you in tune with programming, and so that you don't forget about C++, and more importantly, you don't forget about me and Group 1E. Marianne?
All right. We will go and have a look at the quiz.
Okay. It's a few seconds, right? Our reigning champion is Jamie Lee Brown, and she did it in 16 seconds. All right, she got the answer correct. Now, I haven't given you the answers yet because I said, hey, I'm not going to. I want you all to think about it, right? So now let's continue. Oh, I've got a question here. Marianne, you must keep an eye on the chat, Marianne. Oh, there's a question. Tando, all right? Tando says, what does set F iOS fixed mean? Would anybody like to help Tando in her query or question? What is a set F iOS fixed mean? Tando? All right, Tando, I'm going to answer that question for you, but I'd like it if you could try it as well. You know, I don't want you all to be dependent on me. So let's go see where is the set F that's there, right? Let's go see where set F. Where is set F? So it's, Tando, you know who's my best friend, Tando, if I don't know anything? Tando, unmute and say hi.
Hi.
Hello, Thando. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and yourself?
I'm well. Thank you for the question. Now, Marianne was talking about the answer when she was doing this quiz, basically, and she said something about decimal points so I'm going to give you a little hint, Thando. It has to do with how the number is displayed with this decimal point story. All right, Thando?
Okay.
Okay, Thando. But you know who's my best friend to help me out, Thando, to find out what is set F iOS fixed?
Google.
Ah, yes, yes. Google's my best friend. So let's go and ask Google. Let's go and ask Google what is set F, right? So you're going to say, what is set F iOS in C++, right? Aha, there's C++. What is set F in C++? Is generally used to set independent format. There we go. There we go. Thando, would you go and read up on all of this, Thando?
Yes, I will.
Okay, all right. And I'm giving you a hint that it has to do with the decimal places. Now, when you are doing programming, Thando, one way of working out what it does is remove that. Don't have it out there. See whether if you put it there, what happens. If you take it out, what will happen, right? And that's how you learn programming, Thando. All right. You will learn as well if I tell you the answer, but more importantly, if you go and try it out yourself. Okay, Thando?
Thank you.
You know what I'm getting at, Thando?
Pardon?
You know what I'm getting at, Thando?
Yes, I do. I understand.
Yes. I want you to go and try it out yourself also. So let me go and see if I have that program here. I know I worked on it the other day. So there it is, Thando, right? So you asked me the question, what does set F do? So, then I'm going to give you the answer. Marianne, do you mind if I give them the answer, Marianne?
Go for it.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to give you the answer, right? So I'm going to say build and run. And oh, look at that. Look at that. There's the answer out there. 13.00, just like what Marianne had said. Now, Thando, you want to know what does set F do? So if I want to learn programming, I go and remove this line here. I go and remove that line and see what happens, right? So I'm just going to cheat a little. I put that as a comment. Let me go and build it again, Thando. Let me build and run. Look at that, Thando. Thando, check it out.
I see.
You see?
So it doesn't have the 0.00.
Yeah, it doesn't have the 0.00. I actually copied it from the textbook, right? So again, Thando, if I want to see what happens here, let me go and run set precision. And I run it. And I say, hey, look at that. Look at that. Actually, you didn't need to have that one, right? Okay. So Thando, that's one way of learning programming. You take a program, you put it into the compiler, you run it, you play around with it. You see what happens if I include something, if I remove something, I put that there, and then I run it, and I say, hey, look at that. Oh, look at that. Now, Thando, there's my question to you. If I go and change this to, instead of 2, I put down 5. What do you think may happen, Thando?
It's going to have 5 decimal places.
I don't know.
It's going to have like, no?
I don't know. I don't know. Who's going to check it for me? Who will check it? Who's
I'll
going to
check it.
Oh, there. Not you, my compiler, Thando. Right? Do you think I'm clever and I know all the answers? I don't know all the answers. I just know that I got a compiler that will help me. Okay, Thando?
Yes.
Thando, you're supposed to say no, sir. You're clever as well.
But you are clever.
Oh, thank you, Thando. You're good for my ego. All right. So that's how you will learn programming. Now, Thando, do you think you still want Google to help you as your best friend, or you got the answer out here?
I got the answer out here, but I'll still Google after the class.
Yes, please. Yes, please. You must do that, right? You must do that. So quick, Marianne, what will happen if I put in 10 there, Marianne?
Then you'd have 10 decimal places.
Ah, let me see if Marianne is right. Yeah, let's give Marianne a clap. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Marianne. if you want me to waste more time, I could play around with that set precision, cout precision, and make it more. What do you think? Marianne.
No, I think it's been quite.
Marianne.
I think it's been quite adequately
Oh,
illustrated.
okay, thank you,
actually,
thank you. You know what I mean? I got half an hour. You know, as a teacher, how it needs to go in there. So let's go back to what we were talking about now, right? Last week we dealt with. I'm looking at the assignment. There's the assignment, the Marianne. Last week we dealt with question 1B, and today we're going to talk about 1C. So in 1C, they said include the for loop below in a small program and complete the program. The loop should be executed 10 times. Do not change the for loop below. Compile and run the program to see for yourself that it works. You don't have to submit this program. Now, I know you guys did it, so I'm going to do quick. Right, so Marianne, Tando, here's my new best friend, which is what, Tando? My compiler, right? So Google is also my best friend, but also my compiler, right? All righty. So let's check out this program. So in honor of Tando, Thando, Tando, check this out, Tando. Tando.
I see.
Yeah, right, Tando. So I'm gonna go and see that, right? Now in the exam, this is a famous question that comes out in the exam, right? Because they want you to note whether you are able to identify what the for loop does, and also they are testing you on what the while loop does. So that was the purpose out there, right? There's always an objective for them to do something. And guess what? I see an error out here. Right? There's an error out there. Right? I'm just making it smaller so that we can see it right on the screen. Thando, do you pick up an error, Thando?
No. Where?
I don't know. You tell me.
N is not initialized or declared.
Oh, that's one. Okay, thank you. Who said that? Hello? Who was that?
It was Abdul, sir.
Abdul, welcome, Abdul. Abdul's in the house. Abdul from Pretoria.
From Joburg, sir.
Yeah, Pretoria and Joburg, they one and the same to me, man, you know. Oh, okay, close by, right. Okay, Abdul from Joburg. Thank you, Abdul. Now, the question was to write a small program, okay? So Abdul is, if I don't believe Abdul, which I don't believe Abdul because he's from Joburg, right, Tando? Let's just, who's my best friend, Tando, for today?
Your compiler.
My compiler. So let me go and run my compiler. Hey, what's the story here? Let me see what this Abdul said. Abdul said something about, oh yeah, Abdul, gotta believe now. Abdul is right? Int, n, and now let me tell you something about the for loop, Abdul. It has to be an integer. Thando, Marianne, it has to be an integer. All these variables out here. That's very important because you must remember the for loop and the while loop, the counters, it only counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And let me tell you something about us programmers. We like to count from 0, right? Now you must keep this in mind when you are doing your arrays. Arrays start counting from 0. I know it's a weird concept, but if you think about it logically, if there's no people in the room, if the room is empty, you're going to say the answer is 0. If there's one person in the room, you're going to say the answer is 1, 2, 3, all right? So let's see, we sorted that error out. Thank you, Abdul, for that. Let me see if there's any more. Who's my friend, Thando, for today, my best friend?
Compiler.
My compiler, right? They say n is unused, it's not used. I think the question said something about n is less than 10, right? So let's look at the question. It says the loop should be executed 10 times. So now n must be 10, right? So n is equal to 10, right? So that'll help me there. I'm just saving some line space. Okay, Thando, you don't mind? Right? Again, I'm asking my compiler, check out for me if there's any more errors in there. It says, hey, that's fine. Let's go and run this program. Let's run the program, build and run. And I get 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, got hello world over there. All right, doesn't matter. We can take out hello world, right? Now, let's see. Let's take out that line. Let's see what happened here. Now, if you remember from last week and if you watched the video, there's no open bracket and closed bracket, but I'm going to be fussy and I'm going to put in an open bracket and a closed bracket, right? For some weird reason, I like to do that. What do you think? Will I affect the program, Thando? Abdul?
Yes,
I will.
I think so.
Okay, Tando says she thinks so. Okay, maybe we should do a poll on this. Marianne, do you think I'll affect the program?
No.
Oh, Marianne says no. Okay. Abdul from Joburg / Pretoria / Gauteng.
Well, from what you said or what I remember from last week, so you said if it's one line after the for loop, it's okay. You don't need to use the curly brackets. But if it is going to be more than one line below that, you'll have to put it in brackets.
Oh, somebody's been paying attention. Marianne, what do you think of that response, Marianne?
I'm now re-looking at the code and thinking about this because I've actually looked at the if statement and gone, okay, well, that's one line, the other piece is actually part of the if statement. So it's not directly under the for loop, but actually when he says it like that, that does make sense. It's 2 lines. So.
Okay. Tando, what do you think now? Tando, you said it's going to have...
Okay, now I think I'm completely wrong.
Oh, don't say you're completely wrong. No. You're not completely wrong. You're learning, right? Okay, I can see Finn has raised his hand. Go ahead, Finn. Finn, is that Finn? Please unmute and give me your comment. Okay, problems with the mic. All right, let's run the program. Remember, there were 4 X's, right? Let's build and run. Check it out. Marianne. This is considered basically one line, Marianne, right? There's a condition that's taking place with the if statement, and there's some output that's taking place. All right, and Abdul, quite correct, Abdul, you paid attention last week, right? So Abdul, if there's only one line, we can ignore the curly bracket, right? But guess what, Tando? Yes. Right? Yes. You're still with me, Tando? I'm going to take out I'm going to take it out, and here's my best friend for today. Check it out, Tando. It doesn't make a difference. Okay, Tando? Yes. Right? Yes, so you learned something for today. Very important point, because this is what they will confuse you with in the exam. They'll put the curly bracket there, they won't put the curly bracket there, or the one that they trick you with the switch statement is they forget to put a break in there. Okay, not forget, they do it deliberately because they want to confuse you, they're going to see if you know your work or not. Right? Okay, cool with that? Yes. Right? Again, and Tando, when you're studying, you're going to put the curly bracket in and you're going to run it, and you're going to see, hey, it's the same answer. And if you get the same answer with the compiler, you are happy with that. All right, Tando? Right. So in here it says if I is less than 5, and this is a Boolean condition, and I is not equal to 2, they're actually complicating issues. They're compounding the statement out there. There's so many things to consider, right? And I is not equal to 2, then it must only print out the X, all right? So we're going to talk about variable diagrams later on, but for now, because you all have worked on this program, I'm saying, hey, I'm happy with that. Now, let's run. Now they want us to change this into a while program, right? A while loop. Because you must remember, for loops and while loops are interchangeable. I can run the 2. And here's my while statement. What I've done is, I've put it, I'm trying to introduce you all to another bit of software called Wakelet, right? Wakelet. Here's Wakelet. Here's my Wakelet example. And there it is on this side of my program, right? So here I've done my homework. I've done the program for you. Because you don't want to have a very long, there we go. Let me try and keep both together. And I'll share this with everybody. I know I said I'm only going to give the solutions to people that are in the class, but that's okay, right? I'm going to share it with everybody. So let's look at it side by side now, right? I'm going to look at it side by side. So there's my while loop, and there it is out here. Oopsie, did I do that right? So you will notice I'm revising my work from last week. Here's my question to you, Abdul. Let's see if you pay attention. Abdul from Joburg, what's the minimum number of times that a while loop can run, Abdul? Minimum at the very least.
I'll say once. So.
Oh, okay. I'm not sure. I need my compiler to do that. All right. Next question, Abdul. Give me some characteristics about this while loop that I spoke about last week, Abdul. as compared to the
repeat your
for loop.
question? So I'm not sure if
Yeah.
I got it.
Okay, Abdul, I want to know what are some of the characteristics associated with the while loop and the for loop? Because you must remember in this assignment question, they are asking you to convert a for loop into a while loop, and you must get the same answer.
Okay, from my understanding of it, the while loop, it is definitely necessary for you to have those curly brackets because you'll also have to be increasing your counter or something like that.
Yes.
Because if you don't increase your counter, it will forever run or it will be an infinite loop. So you'll have to make sure that all those things are checked and everything is going to move accordingly for it to suit the conditions, e.g. like it executing 10 times. So you'll have to make sure you do that, because if you don't do that, then it won't do what you want it to do.
Okay, so Abdul is right. You need to have some starting point, just like how you had in the for loop. And I'm repeating myself from last week and the week before, right? Why I'm doing this? Because practice makes perfect, and you guys only worry about C++ or once a week on a Saturday. So Abdul is absolutely correct. You need to have a starting point. Can you see out here in the for loop in line number 5, it says I is equal to 0. That's my starting point basically, right? And Abdul said, yeah, you need to at least go through the loop at least once there, right? In this instance here. So I'm looking at it and it says I is less than equal to 10. That means it stops at 10. The same thing happens out here with this program, right? I don't need to go less than or equal to, because I'm running through the loop at least once. But I must get the very same answer. Now, if you look at line number 6, it says if I is less than 5 and I is not equal to 2, I have the same thing in line 7 out there. So let's use my program, and I'm doing this quite fast because you have done this. Maybe you got it right, maybe you didn't get it right, but we are going to now run the program. So here's the program, and you must remember we had 4 x's that came out, right? So I have the loop, the while loop, and in the while loop here it is, before I enter the loop, I need to have my variable set at a starting point, just like in my for loop. So let's compile this to see everything is working, it's running. Yeah. Let's go and build and run to say I've got 4 x's. Tando in the house. Tando, talk to me, Tando. Do I get the same answer, 4 x's?
Yes, you do.
I do. So you know my program is working. Now I can stand on my and say, scream out on the top of my lungs. Yes, it's working. It's the same thing. So what they were trying to test you, Tando, is can you convert a for loop into a while loop? Right? That was the objective of that question. Right? So I know that because that's what they asked in the question. They said, can you change it around? Right? Can you turn it around? So there we go. Now convert the for loop into a while loop and add any variable initializations. Tando, talk to me in your own words. What do I understand by the word initializations?
Initial means start.
Okay, start. All right. It's like initiation, right? I'm initiating the variable. I'm making the variable, set to a particular number. In terms of memory, look, if you're talking about the computer's memory, the computer will dedicate some memory for that variable, and that variable will be assigned the value that you give it. All right. So in this case, I'm assigning the value. They asked me to assign any values. Count is equal to 0. I'm assigning 0 to count. In terms of memory locations, you can think of, hey, there's a memory out there. I'm putting it in there. I'm labeling it as count, and I'm doing it there. So the important point to note was these curly brackets. If I don't have those curly brackets, like Abdul quite correctly pointed out, I'm going to have some errors taking place. Right, Tando? Tando?
Yes.
You check, Tando? You see how important those curly brackets are, right?
I see.
So
Yes.
let's see. I'm deliberately making an error out here to show you what's going to happen, right? Right.
Okay.
So let's go and let's compile this thing. Oh, everything is working. It seems to be all right. Let's go and build and run it. And oops, okay. In my instance, because it's only one line, it was all right. Okay. But if there was more than one line, taking place, then I'll have a problem. Right? Okay. Right. So take note of that. Right? Okay, so let's go on to the next question now. Let's see the next question. The next question dealt with somewhat only the program containing the while loop. All right, we've done that. The next question says, when running the program given, you're supposed to give the output below. However, the program contains errors. Oh, errors is spelled incorrect. There's an error in error. How's that for a joke? Oh, man.
That's good. That's
Okay,
good.
okay. That prevents it from compiling or running. Correct the program so that it works. Now that you know that you have a best friend, Thando, what do you think we should do with this, Thando?
Copy and paste it and run it and try and see where the errors are. Or you could read it and find the errors yourself.
Yeah, but we don't like to work hard. We like to work smart. Don't you think, Thando?
Yes, completely agree.
Yeah, Thando. You know what I mean? I don't want to. Hello, is that Abdul? Abdul? Oh, who said anything? All right. I'm just going to use this program there. Right. Let's close all up. Let's close it all. Close all projects. File. Close all files. File. I'm just going to close it all. I like to work from a clean space. Nope. Set clean space. Close the project. Create a new project. And in honor of somebody from Joburg, Abdul from Joburg, who graced us with his presence
Thank you
today.
so much. I feel honored already.
Okay, thank you, Abdul.
Important.
You're welcome. You are important, right? So Abdul, we don't like working hard, right? Abdul, we just like to work smart, right? And we want to. So this is how you could have done it, right? But don't tell anybody that I'm telling you to copy and paste, okay, Abdul? Okay.
Yeah, it's our secret.
Our secret. Okay, our secret, right? So I'm gonna Control C, and you must remember time is of the essence of the. I got other things to do on a Saturday and everything. By the way, I got so much of marking. Right. Okay. So there we go, Abdul. I've in honor of Abdul and in honor of assignment 2. So let's go and compile this now. Let's see if there's errors in here. Oh boy, we picked up an error, right? It says there's an error. It says error. There's no match for the operator IO stream. C out. Oh, that's simple. We can correct that. Abdul, just pull that to the top. Let's go and see.
And the word limits.
Well, there's limits there. Oh,
the
limits.
Word limit. Yes, it's character sensitive.
Case sensitive, right? That's an important point to note. That was in your first assignment for those of you who did it, right? Case sensitive. So in variables, it's case sensitive. There's some programming languages where it's not case sensitive. Okay. Oh, there it is again, Abdul. There it is again.
Can you give us an example of that, sir?
What, Marianne?
Non-case sensitive languages. What sort of languages are non-case sensitive?
Oh, okay. All right. I know I want to show off and say I know Python and Java and JavaScript and HTML and PHP and Afrikaans languages. But don't worry about all of that. We just worried about C++ programming language, all right? That's the most important language to worry about. For now, we know that C++ is case sensitive, okay? In fact, C++ is a very sticky language, I feel, in terms of knowing it all. But we can take this offline. We can talk about other languages. But for now, our main objective is to note that in C++, it is case sensitive. Okay, Marianne, are you cool with my response?
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Marianne. You got to listen to me because I'm the boss here, right? Okay. Yeah, Ntumaleng, you got your hand is raised. Go ahead, Ntumaleng.
Good afternoon, sir. But isn't it that when you are using a constant variable for a name, isn't it that you're supposed to use caps locks?
Okay, that's fine. Let's do that then. Let's do that. LIMIT. That's all right. That's okay. If you want to do that, we must be consistent, right? When I say case sensitive, it means that I have to ensure that whatever I'm using Ntumaleng is that I am consistent in what it is, right? There's no such rule as things that, hey, I need to have it like this or like that, right? Okay, Ntumaleng?
Okay.
All right, so if you declare it on the top as all capital letters, then you could go ahead with all capital letters over there. So the same thing will happen with, let's say, for instance, number. If I go and have it as N-U-M-B-E-R. Let's see, let's put it in capital letters, right? N-U-M-B-E-R. Then later on, I need to have a cap in capital letters over here in Tumaleng. Okay, in Tumaleng?
Yes.
Right, so you need to play around with that, okay? But as a rule, we tend to say that all variable names should have small letters, right? Okay, okay, in Tumaleng? It's just a rule of thumb. It's a rule of thumb. We don't need to, right? But it so happened that in this case that it required that, right? So that's why I like code grade. Let's see. Oh, there we go. What's the issue here? Let's go and read what the error message said. It said no match for the operator.
Those arrows, they need to be the other way because you are inserting the value into that variable. Yes.
Thank you. Was that Abdul from Joburg?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for answering this because this is your program. That's right, Abdul. Right. Thank you. Oh, that was a weird error, right? Thank you. Let's see if there's any more errors. There don't seem to be any more errors. So you would have had to answer that by saying that those are the errors. Submit only the program, not the output. Now, I'm going to take a bet with you guys, right? I don't think they're going to answer this, mark this question. In Tumaleng, Tando, Marianne, Abdul?
I don't think that's what any of us wanted to hear.
I know, because it's simple. It's too easy. You saw how I got the answer out, right? Right. And they also say submit only the program, not the output. So you must remember in this assignment, they said that they're not going to mark everything, but we don't know in advance what they're going to mark and what they're not going to mark, right? Somewhere along the line, they said, yeah, it will be, please notice. Yes, Abdul.
So if it's not going to be marked, what's the point of having it in there? Is it not consuming space unnecessarily?
It is, but we programmers like to do that, right? Yeah, we like to create some issues for you when there isn't any issues, all right? Okay. And there's also 1,800 odd students, and I don't know how they're marking it. So, Abdul, bear with us. And it didn't take you so long, Abdul. It took you 5 minutes, Abdul. Huh?
Sir?
Yes.
Hello, I have a question.
Yes. Who's that?
It's Yvonne.
Yvonne, my WhatsApp administrator. Hello, Yvonne.
Yes. Can you go back to the question, the one that we just did, actually?
Yes.
Are we done? Like, are we done with that question?
Well, all they asked us to do was, they say, when running the program, it's supposed to give the output below. However, the program contains errors that prevents it from compiling or running. Correct the program so that it works properly. So all we've done right now is we've removed the syntax errors from the program. Right, Yvonne? We haven't ran the program. We haven't ran the program as yet. Let's run the program, right, Yvonne? To see that it works. Yes, that's what it's supposed to do, right? So I'm gonna split my screen. This is another trick that I use, and maybe you guys can use it as well. So you split your screen and you are able to see the two. Well, I actually have another laptop, so I can use that as well, right? So let's compile and run it. So Yvonne, for your sake, I'm going to do it. It says the numbers, please enter 10 integers, positive, negative, or 0, right? So the number is 2, 7, minus 4, minus 3, 0, 7, 4, minus 9, minus 4. All right. It didn't do anything. Did I have correct numbers? 1, 2,
actually,
3,
you missed
4,
a number.
5,
You missed
6.
a number.
Oh, which number did I miss?
You missed 0 right after 4. So you can put 0.
There's another 0. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. They are 1,900. Oh my God, that's not doesn't it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
That's
so now
wrong.
we discovered that there is a runtime error. So there's an error in the logic, or not runtime, there's an error in the logic of the program. So it's not giving us the answer that they wanted. Yvonne, so we're not finished as yet, Yvonne. Okay?
Yes, we're not done.
Yeah, we're not done. Anyway, this is not my program. This is Abdul's program. Abdul, come on, Abdul. Your program's not working, Abdul.
Come
So
on,
when you-
Abdul.
okay, go back to the switch statement and change that division sign and use the modulus sign.
Right.
And then
So,
we'll also have to go into the test cases and see if they also comply.
okay. So Abdul says something about these test cases, right? Let me just see if I can. I'm just going to change the way it looks so that we can see more on my screen. Okay. You don't have to do it like me. I'm just. All right. So there we go. It says please enter the limit. We've got 10. Well, it's 10 integers, positive, negative, or integers. We're fine with that line, Abdul. This is, I'm just going to do a quick revision. This is the input part of a program. I told you a couple of lessons ago, in programming, we have input, Abdul, processing, Abdul, and
Output.
yebo, right? That's all we have, right? Okay.
And then you also need to initialize the variables as well. So because as it stands, they just declared and not initialized.
Oh, is that so? So we're initializing it. Okay, thank you, Abdul. So I'm going to say, Abdul, so counter is equal to 0. Would that be okay, Abdul?
I agree, yes, I agree.
Okay, thank you. So that's another one, right? So as a rule of thumb as well, it's a good idea if you're using variables to always initialize them, to set them to 0. Because remember earlier on, I was talking about this thing about a memory, and program has some space in there. So what had happened when you said count, you initialized count to be float, it went and reserved some space in memory and it wrote it down and says, oh, that space in memory is going to be called counter. When you said equal to 0, so whatever was in memory, it went and removed that and put that as 0. Thank you, Abdul. So let's go and look at what Abdul said
Last
about.
but not least, sir, can we also correct that? Would you say it's a smart idea to have our counter being a float, or we should set it to being an integer type?
Oh, counter should be an integer. Counter should be an integer, Abdul. I like that, Abdul, because we count in counter, counter is equal to 0, right? I like that. I like what you told me about, Abdul, because when we count, we don't count 1, 1.5, 2, 3, and all of that, right, Abdul? Huh?
Agree.
Agreed. Thank you, Abdul. I like that. Okay. So for counter equals 1, counter plus plus. What did you tell me about this number /2, Abdul?
So we need to change that because the division sign only gives us like how many times a number would divide into another number, but it doesn't give us the remainder. But with the modulus, what we're trying to test is that if there will be a remainder. So instead of using that division sign, I would use that percentage sign, which I believe is also called modulus, or is it flow?
Yes, modulus is another important point. I've looked at past year papers as well, right? And modulus gives you the remainder after division. That's very important. It's that you go and learn about the modulus, right? We'll look at past year papers in a month or so. And in fact, I'm going to start giving you past year papers as well. I want you all to start getting used to looking at the way exam questions are phrased. All right. So Abdul said something about modulus. I'm not sure, Marianne, if you did this question with modulus. Marianne?
Yes, I did.
So let's go and look at it, right? So how do you do modulus? What is modulus, the symbol for modulus, Abdul?
It's that percent sign. So
right, it's that percentage sign. So quick revision for those people who are new to and they want some revision for modulus. If I said 10 modulus 4, what's the answer, Abdul?
2.
2. Right. How do you got the answer, Abdul?
Well, 4 goes into 10 2 times and remainder 2. So the remainder is 2.
Okay. So that was the easy way, right? Either it's 2 or 2. Let's go with this one. 20 modulus 6.
So 6 goes into 23 times, which is 18. And you have a remainder of 2 again.
Lovely. So the answer is 2. Good. So that's a good point on that, right? So please take note of that. Abdul, is there anything else that I should worry about in this case statement?
Well, within the test cases, I believe also, I think we should look into that as well.
What's up with the test cases here, Abdul? Case 0, evens plus plus.
I think we need some break statements in between there somewhere, because it will forever keep running or it will run into the next code. So we need to have some break statements.
Well, we could if we wanted to, but we still wanted to add up the other values as well, huh? But anyway, like you said, that's a good point. We need to have a break. We're going to have a break just now. It's according to my time. It's what's the time now? It's 1:45. We'll have a break at 1 o'clock. Is that okay, Abdul?
Not that break. No, not that break.
Oh, Marianne, was that a joke or what, Marianne?
Maybe.
Oh,
Remember that I put 25% German there.
Oh,
The German people don't have a sense of humor.
Oh, okay, right. Okay, right. So where's the solution? Where do you want to put a break, Abdul?
Well, I would advise that we have a break statement after zeros plus plus.
Where's that now? And case this one here.
Case 0, yes, and then after under 0 plus plus have a break statement there. No, not there, say not there, not there.
Oh, not there.
So yeah, so we have if number equals 0, then 0 plus plus. That's where you can have a below that, sir, below that. So yes. And then going into your if statement, that bracket there, remember when we're trying to test if something is equivalent, we use double equal signs instead of one, because that one equal sign is more of allocatable.
Right. That's another very important point that they picked up in this question, that they said that they need to have a equal to, is equal to, right? So thank you, Abdul, for that. That's a good point. Can you see where I use a single equal to sign? That means I'm assigning the value and I am putting and storing that into the memory location. When I have a double equal to sign, that means I'm making a comparison, right? That's an important point in programming. C language uses that, where they check, it is comparing, is the number indeed equal to 0? Thank you, Abdul. Right, what else, Abdul? This is your program.
So if it is my program, then can I give you my code that I used or that I came up with?
Yeah, tell me. We're learning now. The assignment is over. We're reviewing it. Come on, Abdul.
Okay, then can you go under test case 1? And
right,
then
test case 1.
And then you can have, yes, you can have odds plus plus, an increment of odds.
ODS or ODS plus plus, right?
Yes, and then your semicolon.
Right.
And then enter, you have an if statement to say if number is greater than 0 and if
number is greater than 0.
Please.
Yes.
Can you put that in brackets, please, sir? Yes.
Yes.
And.
Okay. Oh, all right. And yes.
No, within the bracket, still within the bracket.
Oh, sorry. Right. Okay.
And number modulus 2 equals to 0.
Right.
Then close your brackets. Then under that, you can have evens plus plus.
Right. So talk to me. So what happens is now it checks if the number is more than 0 and the remainder is 0. So if I took 4 modulus 2, I'm going to get the answer 0 because 4 is an even number. But if I take 5 modulus 2, I'm going to get 1, which is an odd number. Thank you, Abdul. Right. Go on, Abdul.
Okay, then you can have a break statement under that.
Right.
And then under odds plus plus, you can have another if statement with the same condition within test case 1. If number is greater than 0 and number modulus 2 equals to 0, then evens plus plus.
Control C, Control V. Is that
underneath the odds part? Can you make it under? Yes, I'm not sure if it affects, but odds plus plus should come first. And then if it is going to meet that particular conditions, then, but I'm not sure if it's going to affect the program in that sense. So yeah, that should do.
Okay, that should do. Okay, but this condition over here to find out whether a number is odd, you told me that for the number to be even, there must be no remainder.
Correct.
So for a number to be odd,
so I was saying that odd plus plus, it was supposed to be, according to my code, I put the odd plus plus before the if condition statement. So to say if ever it meets that particular condition, then it should add on to the even years. So there it's odds plus plus your semicolon.
Yeah.
And then underneath there, you'll have evens plus plus underneath the even statement. That's evens plus plus, yes.
Is that it?
Yes, so that's my program, sir.
Okay, and did it work?
Yes.
Oh, okay, let's see. Yvonne, are you still with us, Yvonne?
Yes, I am.
Right, so
I'm
Abdul,
so
we've got
paying
about 4
attention.
minutes on the clock. Let's see if Abdul's program works, right? Okay, so Abdul is going to be the new tutor for Group 1E, right, Abdul? Thank you, Abdul. Well done. My job as a
I'm not
teacher
there
is...
yet, sir. I'm not there yet. I'm still learning. I'm not sure if I'm ready to be a tutor.
You will.
as of
You
yet.
never know. You'll be a teacher like me, right? So let me see if it works now, right? Let's go and build and run. Let's keep the 2 programs open because I can't remember all of these things. Let's go and build and run. Abdul says it's going to work. I hope it works, Abdul, because I got things to do after this, right? So it's 2, 7 minus 4 minus 3, 0, 7, 4, 0, minus 9, minus 4. And always it's nice to say a little prayer. Please, dear Lord God, I know I didn't pray this morning. Help me with this thing. This is Abdul's work. Abdul? Abdul!
Yes, sir.
There are 6 even, which includes 2 zeros. The number of odd numbers is 4. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Well, also thank you to Abdul. Abdul! Yvonne!
Yes,
Yvonne! Check it out.
Yes.
Check it out.
Oh gosh.
What?
it's magic.
It's magic. Yes. Yvonne, now we're done, Yvonne.
Yeah, this question was so challenging for me, especially with the switch statements.
Oh.
I couldn't figure it out. Like, oh gosh, it was so bad. Can we go back quickly to the
Sure.
compiler?
Sure. Abdul, this is your program. Abdul, explain it here, Abdul.
Please explain it to me because I just assumed because they said case 1, case 2. I blindly thought that they actually separated the cases. I thought they were labeling it as case 1, case 2, case 3. So immediately I saw on line 21 that said case -1. So, okay, can we please explain roughly how the switch statement worked? Because the way that I absorbed the information, apparently I misunderstood some few things. So can you kindly explain how switch statements work, as well as, yeah.
Okay, Abdul, you wanna do the honors, Abdul? Let's see, Abdul, this is your program. Your name is on it.
Okay, so I think I'll explain the part of my program that I understand, and then
Okay, start from
anything
the
else
top.
that
Abdul,
might
start
be
from the
missing,
top.
you'll
Start from
add
the
on to
top.
that.
Start from the top.
Okay. The top is from the C-in statement or from the case, the test cases now.
Start from line 3.
Line 3, okay. Line 3, we are declaring a constant called limit, which is 10. And then line 5, we are declaring our variables as well as initializing them. And then...
Okay, quick question on that line 5. So I noticed that you were basically declaring variable, and on some of our inputs, we had negative numbers. So that, can you please explain the logic behind that? Because I'm assuming that because you're initializing your variable as to 0, so my mind is telling me that it's probably going to discard the negative numbers.
Okay, in this case, remember your variable is more like a container and it's empty as of yet because we are yet to run anything. So when we're setting them to 0, it's basically saying there's nothing in the container yet. And then in terms of the negatives, going back to the cases, remember we have case 0, we have case 1, and we have -1, case -1. So the case -1 caters for negative numbers because we are having negative numbers as well.
Okay, cool. Okay, I get it. Okay, carry on.
So yeah,
I like that.
In that event of whereby when you have your number modulus 2 and you have an answer of 0, that's where it will run whatever is under case 0, whatever code that is under case 0, that's what's going to run. And then in an event whereby number modulus 2, you get a positive remainder, then it will run what is under case 1. And then in an event whereby number modulus 2 is a negative remainder, it will run what is under negative, taking case -1. So that's basically it according to my understanding.
Okay, it makes so much sense right now. It's actually you're grouping 3 cases. You have for numbers where the result will be a 0, it will be a positive integer, and it will be a negative integer, if I'm understanding correctly.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey,
So,
Abdul, you're
okay,
too
in
good,
a case,
Abdul.
out of
Abdul.
curiosity, so
So let me tell you, let's take a
hey, he's too good, this
example.
guy. Yeah.
I'm learning, guys. I'm still a student as well.
Hey, Abdul, you're the tutor here.
So-
Abdul, do me a favor, Abdul, take this number 2. Now, Abdul, take number 2.
Sure.
2 modulus
Yes.
2, what's the answer?
0.
Correct. So which case will it run, Abdul?
Yeah, 0.
Case 0.
Which is in line number?
14.
Correct. So what is going to increment evens by?
It's gonna increase evens by 1.
What was evens before this?
0.
Correct. Now let's take the next one. 7. Abdul, 7 modulus
Yes,
2.
sir. 7 modulus 2 is 1.
Right. So what case is going to run?
Case 1.
Where do you find that? Which line number?
17.
What's going to happen there in line number 18?
On line 18, we are increasing the odds by 1, and before that, odds were 0. So
Hey,
now we
you're
have
so
1
good. You knew
odd.
I'm going to ask you that question. What was odds before this? Hey, right. Abdul, next question. Now, number is -4. -4 modulus 2 is?
0.
Right. So what is going to run?
It's that test case, Menier.
Yeah. What line number is
21.
you found it on?
21.
Is it 21? Oh, yeah. Right. There we go. Is it 21? Oh, okay. So that's how it goes and increments it by 1. Right. So do you get the picture of what Abdul is trying to say? Yeah. Is it Rakoma, Mr. Rakoma?
Yes, most certainly. I feel like he explained it so well. Like I
Me
understand
too.
it like right off the bat.
Me
Oh
too.
gosh,
Abdul.
just so good. Abdul.
Abdul, you're just so good,
Magic.
Abdul, you're just so good, Abdul. Hey, next year Abdul is going to apply for a teaching position over here at UNISA. He's going to be the tutor. Abdul.
Oh, so let's not get too excited. I'm still learning. I'm still learning.
Okay. You're still learning. But thank you very much, Abdul. This is a lovely explanation, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to okay, I'm not gonna share this. I want you to try it out. You can watch the video, pause the video, and run it. Okay? Is that okay with you, Mr. Akoma? Yeah,
Yes,
I'm glad you
yes.
learned something today, right? I'm glad you learned something today. So I'm going to stop there. It's already 1 o'clock. I'm going to stop there. We're not going to do the next program, but in this question that they asked you to do was to find out any syntax errors, and then there were some logic errors. Logic errors meaning the program didn't do what it was supposed to do because they didn't answer it, right? Now, maybe they'll mark this question. Maybe they will not mark it. I don't know. I hope they mark it and give you the marks
I hope they
accordingly.
don't.
Oh, some people think they hope they don't, right? So next week, we're going to do question 2, all right? The story about the room. And I know there was lots of confusion about it, but we're going to make some assumptions and we're going to try answering it, all right? Is that cool with everybody? Oh, I got lots of questions in the chat here. Sissoko, you said you can't answer. Tumelang, you got big up, Abdul. Well done, Abdul. Can you see all the lovely praises you're getting, Abdul? All right. Hi, sir. Can you join? Except Brenda, she wants to join the call. Oh, now you're telling me. Why didn't you speak up, Vivian? I'm sorry, Vivian. I didn't accept her. I hope she can watch the recording. Zulu said no. I don't know what she said no for. All right. Jamie, now we can't hear you. You can't hear me. Can you hear me, Jamie? I'm not Jamie. Is it Sissoko, Mr. Student Sissoko? Timalang? Right. So I answered all the queries. Now, I know you all also came here because you all wanted some past year papers and some solutions. Huh? Yes or no?
Definitely.
Yes.
Ah,
Most
right.
certainly.
Right. So let's go and look at a past year paper. Right? I've got quite a few past year papers, and I'll share that with you guys. Don't worry, I'll give it out to everybody, right? But just to give you a company, because I'll feel bad if y'all don't come to my Zoom lessons, right? So I've got some past year papers here, past year examination papers, and I've got some solutions as well, right? So let's just take a past year paper quickly. Let's go take October, November 2010. Let's go say October, November 2010. Let's see what they asked you in that October, November 2010, right? So there's a paper here. And Ms. Mbalasi wasn't examining in that place. So there's some questions here. Let's see if they asked about the while loop. If they asked about the while loop or the if else, there's the if else statement they spoke about. There's a for loop, and look at this how they complicated it. It's a nested for. And we've got some questions there. October 2010. This is rather far back, right? Far back there. And so I'll share this paper with you, right? And arrays, we haven't come to arrays and strings yet. We're going to do some arrays and strings, right? And what else did they ask for, right? So let me share that with you. Let's share that. And
so you also spoke about variable diagrams.
Yes, variable diagrams is also important. But if you notice, Abdul, the way you were talking is that when I say variable diagrams, you were able to work it out in your mind, basically, the way, the even odds, and you were giving answers. All you now need to do is put that in a Excel spreadsheet, or not Excel spreadsheet, you know, with line numbers and draw the variable diagrams. But we'll do a question like that, all right? But my strategy and my objective for you is, let's do the assignments. Let's answer the assignment questions, get the grips and understanding in what they were testing you on. We complete assignment 3 as well, and then we start with past year papers and we look at the objectives of each one. All right? Okay, Abdul? I know y'all got other things to worry about as well. You know, like Marianne got business information systems or something like that. Now, how do I attach these things now? How do I attach these questions? Okay, should I just post it in our WhatsApp group? Right, I'll post the past year paper in our WhatsApp group. Or I know what I'll do. I'll put this on my Wakelet page, right? On my Wakelet page. So there we go. There's my Wakelet page. Let's find that Wakelet page. I'll put it out there and I'll post that in for you, right? So there it is. I know y'all all stayed here. Y'all stayed here because you wanted the past year paper. Haha! And you see how I kept y'all to come for past year papers. Marianne, you're supposed to say no. You'll come.
Sorry, sir. Next door. Okay, sorry. Moment of distraction there, sir, with you saying about where do you upload the things. Next door to the reaction gesiggie on the tool, there seems to be a thing that says share.
Okay, I'm going to share. I'm going to share this now with you, right? Oops, wrong one. I shared. Let me go back to my collections. My collection is sent in June. Sorry, you know, men can't multitask, Marianne. You know, we got to do one thing at a time, you know. I'll give you the solutions as well. Would you like the solutions as well?
Yes,
Not yet.
please.
Yes, please.
I knew you'll say yes. I knew you'll say yes. Right? But don't tell anybody that I'm sharing the solutions with you, all right? Okay? Right, let's go share the solutions. And you also want the past year paper as well, right? Okay, let's see the past year paper. I've got lots, but if I give you all at one go, then you won't come back to me next week. Marianne?
We'll come anyways.
Oh, thank you, Marianne. You're too sweet, right? Okay, so I'm going to share that with you. I'll share the link, and let me share the link in the chat.
So from one of the papers that you sent out, could you please send one of the latest papers as well?
Yes,
Like,
I will, but I'll do that if you don't mind towards the you know, to keep y'all coming back for more. All right.
okay.
Okay, I will. I've got February 2023. I've got October 2022, and I'm going to say allow sharing, copy the link. Yeah. If I give you all everything in one go, then you all won't come back.
We will.
Oh, okay. You will. Okay, wait, I've said to everyone now, everyone in meeting. Right. Okay, so if you click on this link on the Wakelet page, it'll take you to those past year papers, right? And whatever we did today. Is that okay?
Sir,
Yes.
so you are sending it to group 1E.
No, I
group
sent it to
2E.
everybody.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, there's a day. If you click on this link, I'm sharing it with everyone. Sharing is caring, caring is sharing, right? Don't worry, towards the end, I'll send it to everybody, right? I promise. But now,
Thank
this is the way I
you.
get you all to come to my class, right? This is how I get you all to come to my class. Otherwise, you won't come to my class. Right? I got to bribe you all and bluff you all to come and say, hey, please come. Okay. Hello? Okay, we are 5 minutes over. I like to keep to an hour because the recording becomes
I
too
think
long.
you don't have to stress that much, sir.
What? Stress about what? No,
I'm thinking you don't have to stress too much, because even if you were to share all of them, I feel like somewhere along the line we are gonna get stuck and we will be forced to come back to you. So in my opinion, I think it's gonna be pointless for one to get the question papers and run away from the sessions.
Yeah. That's right. That's true. That's true. That's how I got a job, Abdul. You know, y'all need me to explain things and all of that, right? And there's little intricacies like the single bracket, no bracket, the not equal to sign, the equal to sign. Those are the little things that us as a teacher we're gonna explain. All right. So it's no use just knowing a solution. It's how you put the solution across to the students as well, Abdul. All right. I know y'all will come, but I want to make sure, be confirmed that y'all are coming, right? That's why I do all of that. Okay, so this is our strategy. We're going to wait for assignment 3 to come out. While waiting for assignment 3 to come out, we work on assignment 2. We find out where our errors or faults, what it is. We pick up on the strategy of answering those questions. And then assignment 3 comes out. We work on assignment 3. I help you a little bit. You do the assignment 3. After assignment 3, which is in August, September, October, we work on past year papers, right? But I've already started you off on that, Abdul, right? So now that you got October 2010, I will, by the way, Marianne, if you notice the past year paper that I posted on the WhatsApp group, Introduction to Programming, that question paper is this assignment, Introduction to Programming 1. I'm not sure if you checked that out, right? Okay.
I don't think I have yet. No, sir.
Oh, okay.
Go and have a look.
I'm telling you, right, Marianne? That's the question. So we're going to end now. The homework for my group 1E. Please go to the code grade, print Twinkle Twinkle Little Bat. I'm so happy there are some students that submitted it. And next week, I'm going to try to learn how to use input values so that it gives you the answer ASAP. And I'm going to ask Ma'am, maybe she can implement that at UNISA. All right. Thank you, Abdul, my tutor for my assistant. You did a good job. Well done. I'm so happy. And Abdul, when you explain to somebody else, you also are consolidating your knowledge as well, right? That you are picking up on it. All right. Anybody wants to put the camera on and say, oh, I didn't stop the recording. Jamie, is that Jamie? Jamie, hello, Jamie. Say hi to me, Jamie. Jamie, code grade is awesome. Thank you, Jamie. I also think so. Jamie, say hello to me, please, Jamie. Oh, your mic is not working. Not again, Jamie. Come on. Jamie says his mic is not working. All right. Okay, he tried speaking and it's not working. Maybe he has a sore throat. All right. Okay. Thank you, Jamie, for that. I like code grade as well. Okay, so if there's any more last minute or two for a question or two, anybody with a question or two? Hello, anyone? Question or two?
One, sir.
Yes, Abdul.
Do you think we're gonna like dive into structs as well, or we still gonna maybe finish off with the assignments, then head off to structs?
Yes, structs in the past year papers, structs was like the last question out there, right? And it's so simple to do a struct. A struct, to help you along, is it's simply a record. It has a number of different fields in there, and it puts all together. So the next, it's a data structure. An array is a data structure. All the elements are the same. in a struct, you're going to get a data structure that has one field will be, let's say, for instance, integer, another field will be string, another field will be float. It could also be an array too, right?
Okay.
But let's not confuse everybody.
Okay.
We're going to talk about it later on, all right? Okay, Abdul?
Thank you, sir.
And also, that's my forthcoming attraction. If I give you all the answers to structs, you're not going to come back again. Like if I tell Marianne which other program to deal with, is case sensitive, then she won't come back again. But Marianne has been here all the time, so thank you, Marianne. You're one of my. If I had a register, I would have ticked you all the time that you are coming. I'll give you full marks for 100% attendance. I know when I was at school, they used to give us a certificate. If you never stayed absent, you can get a certificate in assembly. I don't think they do that anymore. Right.
No,
think
I'm just
we
going
can
to say it's not
incorporate
something
that,
I've
sir.
ever heard of. So
Yeah, I just gave my age away, Marianne. You know, in my days, we didn't have flat screen TVs. We had ginormous TVs, you know. So in my days,
no, I'm quite familiar with that. My dad collects all the electronics, so I know what a tube display looks like.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Thank you,
Not
everybody.
quite before my
Everybody
time.
put the camera on. When I don't know when Marianne's going to put a camera on. Going to take a class photograph, but we'll talk about that later on. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I'll upload this to YouTube in the next hour or so. Oh, I forgot to stop recording. Let me stop the recording. Right, stop the recording.